So we have created all of the images that we need to create on our floor plan. So now we're going to add them to our sheet so that we can print it out. So what I need you to do is go down to Sheets and right click, select New Sheet, and then load them. And so you should have your libraries loaded over here, and it should be my second one that I choose. Um, and if we go down to title blocks and open that, we're going to do an 8.5 by 11 because that's what our printer is going to print. So let me open that and hit OK. So I have my 8.5 by 11 here. According to the rubric, there's 5 things that you need to add into here. One of them is the floor plan. So I'm going to click and drag that into here. And if I click off to the side, you can see that that section view is still in there. And I don't really want to have that section view in there. It's kind of an eyesore. It doesn't really show what I need to show. I also don't need these elevation views. So you're going to repeat the same process with your 2 elevations that you need to choose. And so I'm just going to model it for you on the floor plan. So if I open up floor plan again, and I'm going to scroll the mouse wheel up to push it away, if you come down here and you show the crop region, it's going to show everything inside this box. So I'm going to click on that, and really all I want to show is just the house or the shed. So let me pull that in. And then now I want to hide the crop region. I don't really want that to show up on the sheet. The other thing I want to hide here is this section, just for the moment. So I'm going to click on it and right click and then choose hide in view. I'm going to hide that element. Now it's gone, so when you want to get it back, there's a little light bulb here, and that reveals all hidden elements. So if I click it, right click it, then I can unhide that element and it will show back up again. Click the light bulb and there it is. So let me model that one more time. We're going to hide that, and now we have our shed view. So if I go back down to my sheet, it should have modified that, and now I have just my shed in here. But this little indication here that shows what it is really not in a good spot. So I'm going to drag that closer, and if I select the actual item here, this floor plan, then I can pull this in, and now I have the scale for this floor plan as well. And so everything looks pretty good. Now 1/8 to a foot on this sheet is pretty small. So I'm actually going to increase size to a 3/16 to a foot and pull that down. Then if I click outside of that, I can select only this and drag that a little bit closer. So that helps you sort of arrange your pieces on this sheet. So we have so far just the floor plan. The thing that's going to take up the most space is going to be your section view, but I can add the rendering. So I can put the rendering, put that in there. That looks pretty good. And maybe I'll add my 2 elevations just for now, just to show you how to do everything in here. So if I put this north elevation in here, that one looks pretty good, actually, just like it is. But I actually am thinking I want to use the south elevation because that has the door. So if I click on it once and hit the delete key, then I can get rid of that. So let's add the south elevation instead. And I'm going to add the west elevation because I believe that one has a window in it. And you can see the west elevation is a little ridiculous. It's got all of this this extra size to this. So let's open that west elevation up, and now we can pull these bars in towards it. Let me zoom into this one. I'll pull this one in. And that gives me a lot better view of that. Now I think the section view, having that section view in there is okay because it shows which wall we're talking about. So it's okay to put that in this elevation view. And let's check out what our crop is. And we can actually probably shrink this one down just a little bit as well. And I'll hide that crop. Now let's take a look at the sheet one more time. That's looking a lot better. It does show that section view cut out, and you can see that's in the way. So it turns out that I'm better off if I don't have that one in there. So I'm going to open up west. I'm going to right click this. I'm going to hide in view that element. And then we go back. That looks a lot better. Now if I again click this once, now I can drag that slider bar, click outside of it, and now I can pull that slider bar in. So that matches up a lot better with my view right here. So that gives me a little bit of room for my section view here. I think that I need to move these in a little bit further because I'm going to have all those labels. So let me, I'll let you adjust that actually, and I'm going to just click and drag my section view in. Now the section view, we're going to have to make that quite a bit larger to be able to actually read the font. So I'm going to go 1/4 inch to a foot. And that one looks pretty good, except my size isn't quite fitting. We have a lot of things that are overlapping in this case. So we can open up that section view and check our crop. And right now it's cropping all the way out to here. I may want to pull these in a little bit more to show that. And actually probably I can do the same thing with this. I don't need those quite that far out. Depending on how much space that I need for my fonts and my drawings, I can actually end up moving some of these in as well. So you're going to have a lot more labeled on yours once you actually have this done because you have everything that you needed to have in that rubric. I'm going to pull this side in, and so you're just going to have to play with it until you get the sizes good enough that they all fit on the same sheet and you don't have any overlapping text. Right now I need to move this up just a hair as well. So arrow keys also work. I'm using the down arrow there to kind of size that. And the last thing I kind of need to put in place is this sector line for section number 5 or image number 5. So I'll put that over here. And that shows you a scale for each individual drawing. It's really important that you have that so then when you're looking at it you kind of know a little bit more about what you're looking at and the relative dimensions of those things. So again, go ahead and play around with these things until you get them set the way that you want them, and name your shed. So I'm just going to call mine Awesome Shed, and you should also put your name on this so that when you turn it in, we know whose it actually is. So project name, shed, and owner, Brian Thomas. Then at this point we should be able to print this out, and again we'd want to make this look a little bit better. We need to hide those lines in that section view because you can see that border is still in there. So you go down and you hide those lines in there.